Hey, so you guys get some real fun stuff being part of the course. I've never really done this video before. I might eventually release it on my YouTube, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of how I set up my camera. I'm just gonna go through my gear here. As you can see, we had a shoot this weekend, so you can just show them this whole mess here of all the batteries. But I'm gonna show you how I set up my FX9. First tip for anyone who has lots of camera gear is get a security system. We have this amazing Wyze camera that detects and lets us know if anyone's come to this door. We have a security system here, but if you're investing all this money into all this gear, you wanna have it protected, insured, and secure. So anyways, but let's go get the camera that I'm using today. And that's the FX9. But wait, this is Michael's FX9. Let me go get mine. Just wait right there. So, I did not use this camera last, and I can tell because someone is using the Sony monitor on here. First thing I do whenever I get my camera out is I do this. I take off the stock video monitor. I just absolutely refuse to use these. I don't care how LED or whatever settings they have. I've yet to be impressed by a Canon or Sony onboard monitor. To me, they're complete junk. I really just feel like Red is the only company that has a decent onboard monitor. So anyways, the first thing I do is I get my small HD monitor here. And I've had this thing, I think 6 years now. I don't know if you can see it on here, but this thing has been beat to crap. I've taken it around the world. It's been on all my films. But I need to get on a bigger monitor. This is the smallest size monitor I'll use. I even like the 7-inch. But this is what I'm using right now. I also have the BM5 monitor from Portkeys. I really like that monitor as well. It's my second favorite next to this small HD. People are always asking me what this is. This is called the Ultralight Arm. I don't know who makes it. I buy it at a local camera shop, but I think you can find it on Amazon. Let me just flip this around. So I like my monitor always hanging like this. I'd rather the weight be on the screws with the monitor hanging rather than it being up like this. I just like to work with gravity, let gravity work. Also too, I put my dials here, whatever you call these, the tightening fasteners, I put them on the outside because when they're on the inside, then I have to reach around and it's kind of awkward. A little thing too, a little trick, I got this bracket on Amazon here. I use that so I can do this. I can literally move my monitor. So if I'm ever shooting up here, I can just quickly move my monitor down so that I can actually see it. Next thing, I got 2 charged batteries, put the battery in. I like the nano batteries because they have the D-tap out. I got this great thing. This is like a Canon battery, but it adapts to a D-tap. I'm gonna power my monitor off the D-tap. But here's the thing, this is way too long. And when I'm operating, I'm a very active camera operator. I don't even like the way this is, because someone else was using this before me. I try to make everything as neat and tidy as possible. I have this Velcro, so I'm gonna do some sort of jimmy rig here. Now I have less cables. Now I do have this big cable, but I kind of need that for when I stretch up the monitor. The next thing here is I need to get a wind screen for this mic, because it is all over the place. Also, I don't like how much this is shaking, and I think that's because it's too top heavy. So I might recenter it a bit. But before I do that, I'm gonna go to my audio drawer and throw on this nice windscreen. Sony puts these silly microphone shoes on their cameras, and the first thing I do when I get my camera is I rip it off and I put my small rig adapter on. I think you shouldn't just settle for what the manufacturers are putting on your camera. Okay, so for me, this is actually pretty close to ready. I have this big pad on it, and the reason I do is I've been using this camera to film for the documentary course, so it has the quick release plate on it. I think I'll just keep it on. It's kind of heavy, but I'm kind of okay with that. This camera right now has the 35mm Sigma on it, but as you guys know, I really love the 24. So I think I'm gonna swap that up, and I think the 24 is on the other camera, so. So this camera has 2 ISOs, and I usually shoot at 800 ISO. It has also 4000, but I find the 800 really clean. But on a bright sunny day like today, even at 800 ISO with all the ND up, the internal ND, I still find that there's just a bit too much light reaching the sensor because I usually shoot wide open on really fast lenses. So that's where I add something like this. And this is one of my favorite tools I have. It is my Polar Pro Basecamp matte box. And this has the 77mm thread. So we're good to go. I'm gonna throw this on. And what this is it's an extra 2 to 5 stops of variable ND, but they're very, very clean ND. You're not gonna be getting any vignetting from this. You also wanna make sure that you're threading it on properly because you can easily thread it on the wrong way. Here we go. Because if it gets on an angle, it only does like 1 thread. So you'll know if you're on wrong if it threads on too easy. Then this is called a French flag, I guess because French filmmakers maybe used it, kind of like French fries, which are actually I think made in the US, who knows, or Belgium. But this flag has saved me. I had a shoot where it was pouring rain and no water got to the lens because I had this flag, and that's what even the side of the barn doors do here, is they take away any light leaks that you may not want. So I got a memory card in here. This to me is a rig that's good to go. I like how compact it is. You know, you might be laughing if you use a mirrorless camera, you're like, that's not compact. But cinema cameras can get really big and bulky, so for me, this is the perfect size. So I'm gonna go take this outside now. My friend Elisha's here. We're gonna film her doing some athletics outside, but this is my basic camera setup. I wouldn't add much more. If I was going for a real long time, I might add this arm which threads into the Rosetta over here. I might add this in just so that I can keep the camera up on my shoulder and keep this attached in, and this has all my dials. But I'm finding myself less and less shooting on my shoulder, unless I'm following someone for an interview for a couple hours maybe, or like doing something outdoors. That's when I'll put this on. But if I'm shooting an action sequence or someone just doing some sort of activity, I probably won't keep it on my shoulder because I find I can get more stability when I'm holding the camera in front of myself. But there we go. So that is my genuine, real setup for my camera. That's just how I would go. I would do this on a commercial shoot, maybe have a few more bells and whistles, like wireless video here. But this is pretty much what I do for my setup. So that's my pro documentary setup.